On this day in 1972, a law was passed that protected females from gender discrimination in education and sport. 50 years later, we are celebrating the historic journey of Title IX.
10 sports reporter Madison Hock takes a look at how women's sports has advanced at the University of Tennessee in the last 50 years. Madison?
Former Tennessee women's athletics director Joan Cronin is a pioneer for women's athletics. During her tenure, she expanded the Lady Vols brand from 7 sports to 11. Her purpose and her passion was to pour into women to give them equal opportunities and opportunities she didn't have growing up.
I go back to wanting to support a Title IX scenario when I was 12, when they wouldn't let me play Little League Baseball, and it made me mad.
Women around the world know the feeling Joan Cronin had when she was told she couldn't compete. Instead of sitting on the sidelines, Cronin was an advocate of change.
When you think about what athletics does, it's not just preparing you to be a player or a coach, it's preparing you for life.
The University of Tennessee hired Cronin as its director of women's athletics in 1983. At the time, the university had only 7 women's programs. During Cronin's tenure, the women's athletics department expanded to 11 sports.
I credit Tennessee with that because they said yes to women before it was cool to say yes for women, but I also credit Title IX.
Prior to Title IX, in 1972, women received only 2% of schools' athletic budgets. Athletic scholarships for women didn't exist. Now, 50 years later, women receive almost half of the total athletic scholarship dollars at Division I schools.
I don't know what you're going to do, but you better come out of this locker room with a big-time attitude.
Joan Cronin's mission, alongside her great friend, Coach Pat Summitt, was to put women's athletics on a national stage. That's why Cronin convinced Pat Summitt to switch from playing games at Stokely Athletic Center that fit roughly 12,000 fans to the brand new Thompson Bowling Arena that doubled capacity.
And when I interviewed the president, the chancellor, and Pat, all wanted us to play in Stokely. And Pat's thing was, I won't have to practice around the men and we can schedule our games. And here we were building the largest arena in the country. And my thought process, you only get one chance to make a good first impression. One of the nicest notes I ever got from Pat Summitt was after the first game when we sold it out. And Pat wrote me a note and simply said, "You were right."
Pretty good note to get. During Joan Cronin's time on Rocky Top, she added golf, rowing, soccer, and softball to the women's athletics department. And her 29-year tenure, Tennessee women's teams won 10 NCAA championships, 22 SEC regular season titles, and 33 league tournament trophies. Pretty impressive what she was able to do at Tennessee.
Absolutely. I would have actually framed.
I would have too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
She's been such a champion for women. Absolutely. All right, Madison, thank you.